All right, let's get honest for a second. We've all been there. We spent years of our lives in school studying math, history, biology, and languages. But not once did they teach us how to handle the most important thing in life: money. Why do we spend so much time learning about ancient civilizations but never learn how to build our own empire? No one tells us that learning how to make money work for us is far more valuable than memorizing dates from the French Revolution. And yet, we're all told, work hard, get good grades, and everything will be fine. Spoiler alert, that plan doesn't always work out. But what if I told you there's another way? A way to escape the cycle of working 9 to 5 just to get by, to not be shackled by student loans, or to live paycheck to paycheck, praying the next paycheck comes in on time? Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, learned that life-changing lesson when he was just a kid. And trust me, you don't need to wait until you're older to start this journey. In fact, if you start now, you can change everything. Imagine you're 9 years old, sitting between two men who each have a huge influence on your life. One of them is your poor dad, the typical get a good job, work hard, save money, retire kind of guy. He believes in the traditional route, where working hard and being loyal to your job is the key to financial success. He's well-educated, smart, and seems to be doing everything right. But somehow, he's still struggling financially, constantly worrying about bills, debt, and just getting by. Then there's Rich Dad, your best friend's father. This guy didn't go to college. He didn't have a traditional job. But somehow he's living in a mansion, driving luxury cars, and traveling the world without stressing about money. He's the exact opposite of Poor Dad. He's not working for money. He's getting money to work for him. This guy has a whole different philosophy about money. And Robert Kiyosaki, stuck in the middle of these two worlds, was about to learn that the path to wealth isn't about how hard you work, but how smart you work. So, Robert asked Rich Dad for a loan to buy a bike. What did Rich Dad do? He didn't just hand him the cash. Instead, he gave him a lesson. One that would change Robert's life forever. "You're not going to get money from me unless you learn how to earn it," Rich Dad said. At first, Robert was confused. "But you have money. Why can't you just give it to me?" he asked. That's when Rich Dad dropped the bombshell. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. Robert's head spun. His entire world was turned upside down. He had always been taught that if you wanted to make money, you had to work for it. But Rich Dad was telling him that the rich don't work for money. They create it. What does that even mean? Well, think about it. The rich don't just go to work to earn a paycheck and pay bills. They build assets that generate income. They don't rely on a salary. Instead, they invest in things that earn money for them, like real estate, businesses, stocks, and investments. That's when Robert realized the game is not about how much you make, but how much you keep and how you make that money grow. Now, here's the real shocker. Why don't they teach this in school? Why don't we learn how money works in the same way we learn algebra or history? Rich Dad couldn't understand it either. They teach you how to get a job, how to be an employee, but they don't teach you how to make money work for you, he explained. And it's true. The way school is set up, we're trained to be employees, not entrepreneurs. The system teaches us how to work hard for someone else's business, but no one teaches us how to build our own business. The thing that could set us free. It's like they're preparing you to be a cog in the wheel of someone else's success while ignoring the key to your own financial literacy. Money is the language of the world. Without it, you're constantly playing catch-up. But the truth is, if you can learn how to speak that language, the world opens up for you. Let's talk about assets. You've heard the word before, but what does it really mean? According to Rich Dad, assets are things that put money in your pocket, while liabilities take money out. Sounds simple, right? So why is it that most people, including Poor Dad, are stuck in the cycle of buying liabilities, like big houses, cars, and stuff they don't really need, while the rich focus on accumulating assets? Rich Dad taught Robert that if you want to get rich, you need to focus on acquiring assets. Things like real estate, businesses, and investments that generate passive income. The rich invest in assets, while the poor and middle class invest in liabilities, thinking they're saving or investing when they're actually digging themselves into a financial hole. It's not about working for money, it's about building assets that will make money for you, even when you're sleeping. If you're still watching, then you're serious about taking control of your financial future. And I love that. But here's the thing. What's coming up next could completely change the way you look at money. So smash that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. This part is a little sneaky, but it's also incredibly powerful. The rich don't pay the same taxes we do. What? Yep. Rich Dad explained that the wealthy use corporations as a legal shield to protect their wealth, while the average person works for wages and gets taxed on every dollar they make. The rich use businesses to pay themselves in ways that don't get taxed like regular income. They pay lower taxes because they understand the system. But here's the good news. You can learn the same techniques. It's all about playing the game smarter, not harder. If you can learn how taxes work, how corporations work, and how to protect your wealth, you can start building the same kind of financial fortress the rich have. The next big lesson Robert learned is that the rich create money. They don't chase it. Instead of waiting for a paycheck, the wealthy are constantly looking for ways to create more value, whether it's through new businesses, investments, or innovative ideas. They don't sit around hoping for a paycheck. They create opportunities. What does this mean for you? Stop waiting for the perfect job or the perfect opportunity. Start creating your own opportunities. Whether it's learning to invest, starting a side hustle, or building your own business, the rich don't wait for the money to come to them. They make it happen. Another key lesson Robert learned was that you don't work just to earn money. You work to learn. In the early stages, it's not about making tons of money. It's about gaining the skills and knowledge that will set you up for financial freedom. By the time Robert hit his early 20s, he realized that his education was just beginning. He didn't need to go to college for the traditional degree. What he needed were real-world skills. Skills like sales, marketing, and financial literacy. Things that would allow him to build assets and start creating wealth. The rich don't settle for just enough. They keep learning, keep growing, and keep evolving their strategies to create more wealth. Finally, let's talk about the two biggest obstacles you'll face on your journey to wealth: fear and laziness. Fear of losing money, fear of failure, fear of taking risks. These are the things that keep most people stuck in mediocrity. And don't get me started on laziness. It's easier to stay in your comfort zone, to keep working the job that you hate, and to make excuses than to take the risks that can actually change your life. But Rich Dad's advice was clear. Don't let fear or laziness dictate your future. Wealth comes when you push past your fears and laziness and take action. It's uncomfortable, it's scary, and you'll probably make mistakes. But guess what? That's part of the game. Failure is not the end. It's part of the journey. So, how do you start? You don't need to be rich right away. You don't need a ton of money to start building wealth. What you need is knowledge and the willingness to act on it. Start small. Start by learning about money. Start investing. Start looking at opportunities. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment, because it will never come. The time to start is now. By the time Robert Kiyosaki finished his lessons with Rich Dad, he learned one undeniable truth. Wealth is a mindset. It's not about how much money you have, it's about how you think about money. If you can learn to think like the rich, you can start to build your own wealth. You don't need a degree, you don't need a fancy job. What you need is to learn how to make money work for you, and once you start that journey, the sky's the limit. So, are you ready to start your journey? The time to learn and build is now. The lessons from Rich Dad, Poor Dad can change your life if you're willing to open your mind and take action. If this video sparked something in you and you're ready to dive deeper into building your wealth, then smash that like button and hit subscribe. By subscribing, you're not just joining a channel. You're taking the first step toward a brighter financial future. We've got more valuable lessons coming your way, and you won't want to miss them. Like and subscribe to keep learning and growing with us.